Hi everyone. Like I promised, week 2 class will be conducted asynchronous. So this is the video that you need to watch. I try to make it maximum of 1 hour or 60 minutes. I try, right? Crossing fingers. Let's begin. What are we going to discuss for this week, and what do you need to do? What do you need to have? What do you need to think, etc., etc. Okay. This week we are going to discuss entirely on video resume. All right. There will be like one practice or one, I would say, a built up activity for you to have an idea how video resume should look like, or before video resume itself, how your resume should look like, or what is the content that you need to have in your in your resume, and etc., etc. Okay, if I were to ask you how many of you have no idea what is resume, and I want you to raise your hand, that would be, that would be funny because I could not see how many of you will raise your hand, correct? So let's keep that part. Okay, so basically, video resume is like a profile of you professionally, where you have all your credentials, yeah, your qualifications, your education history, your curriculum, co-curriculum activities in it. So yes, it's crudely can be said it's like a piece of paper, but a piece of paper that represents yourself. Now, the thing is, why do you need to have a resume? I believe for those who have applied for scholarship, you know for sure that you need to have a resume before you can apply for scholarship. Why? Because people need to know, or like the scholarship giver need to know whether you are, whether you are eligible for the scholarship, whether you are eligible for their money or not. Okay, so same goes in the face of, you trying to be employed, you are in the phase of looking for an employment, for a job, etc., etc. All right, or etc., etc. here refers to the same situation. Yeah, you are looking for an employment, you are looking for a job, or else, you wouldn't, what's the point of you having a degree but not being employed? Unless you say, Miss, I don't want to be employed, I want to be the employer, I want to have a startup, I want to become YouTuber, I want to become a social influencer, they earn a lot of money, even though their content is just ridiculous and silly and etc., etc. So yeah, I wouldn't say no if your option is that, but I believe not everybody is doing that social media as their life. Probably you will want to have a better career development, a better path, or like the traditional way of going for work, 8 to 5, 9 to 6 kind of thing. Okay, so that is, I would say, summarized version of video resume. Okay, let's take a look at let me share my screen first. Okay, let's take a look at the notes. Okay, um I have uploaded these notes in your e-learning, right? Find it, and of course we are going to go we are going to go through your e-learning after this, but for now let's just focus on this video resume notes, the theory part. Okay, you know what, if let's say while watching and listening to my video you have like 1001 questions on video resume, and whatever that I'm going to explain to you, and the notes that I have provided for you do not answer your inquiries, do not answer your questions, you keep it to yourself first, the question, and then when we meet on week 3, you shoot the question to me and I will try as much as possible to answer and give you the best possible response. Right? We cool? Okay, so let's do this. Right. So basically, we are going to have, more or less four things, right? 4 points, four subtopics under video resume. You have the introduction part. We are going to have the pitching yourself part, creating a video resume, and language expressions. All right. Next. So, basically, video resume has been a practice outside of Malaysia since 10 years ago, 15 years ago. However, video resume has become the norm or the trend since, I would say, I know this is cliche, but yes, video resume hit the workforce, I would say workforce market comes COVID, because yeah, people still need to be recruited, right? People need uh job, people need to be hired, but we can't meet face to face. Hence the reason why video resume. All right, okay. um oh, I do not know whether you are familiar with this, but I believe at least 70% of you have a Netflix account, right? So if you are in your Netflix, or if you're on your Netflix, you might want to search for a movie called Legally Blonde, right? Legally Blonde, blonde as in the hair color blonde. Okay, so why do I mention this movie? The fact that this movie is like superb interesting and superb. The storyline is superb. It's about women empowerment. It's about equality. It's about giving opportunity, etc., etc. Other than that, it's also because video resume is being applied, or is being featured. Yeah, it's being featured. That's the word. Video resume is being featured in that movie, right? So if you have the time and if you want it for sure, you could you could find it, Legally Blonde. Yeah. Okay. So that it's interesting how Ellen Woods comes up with her video resume. Okay. Now, let's move on. What is a video resume? Obviously, like I said, resume is the written version of your profile. Yeah, we have not. Okay, now, when we talk about profile, there are so many. There's so many outlets. There's so many platforms that you have your profile. Yes, for example, like whatever profile that you have on your Instagram or on your Facebook wouldn't be the same like the one that you have in your dating apps like Tinder, and obviously the profile that you have on your social media like Instagram and Facebook, or like Tumblr or like Twitter would not be the same like the one that you have in your LinkedIn. Okay, for those who do not know, the correct pronunciation of that particular social media is LinkedIn. It's not LinkedIn. It has never been a LinkedIn. It's LinkedIn. All right. So if you before this pronounce that particular social media as LinkedIn, please cross your heart, right, and promise to yourself you will not be pronouncing it as LinkedIn anymore, as the correct pronunciation is LinkedIn. All right, cool. So let's move on. Okay, so resume is the written form, the written version of your profile. However, video resume is the recorded version. Now, come on. Video or like reel or like montage or like teaser or trailer are now the norms of our stuff, right? We don't really use photos anymore. We use reel in our socials. So hence the reason why I think it's not it's not something new. Yeah, it's not something new to record yourself in a video. Probably it's new in a sense that you now need to record yourself in a video professionally and formally, but previously you have recorded yourself eating food, eating things, drinking probably, or talking to your friends, or probably go shopping, probably go holiday, probably go on a date, right? So yes, the content is still the same. It has to be very professional, it has to be very formal, but the platform is different, or the form would be, the mode would be different, because now you need to record yourself. Okay, so basically, okay, the the thing about video resume is not going to be a long one, right? It's like 2.5 minutes to 2.5 to 3 minutes. It's not that long. So you have a maximum of 3 minutes, and you need to cram everything into 3 minutes. Cram everything here refers to your, your qualifications, your recognition, your awards, your achievements, etc., etc., that are useful for you to get an employment. Okay, right? Um, Now, if you do not know, and if you must know, right, when you record a video resume, you have to understand you need to record accordingly. What do I mean by accordingly? Okay, so your video resume is recorded because you are applying for a specific position or a specific job. You can't have a video resume that is generic, where you can just record one time and then you blast to 10 companies at a time. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't ever do that, because you will be red flag. You will be, not taken seriously, and you will be shoved off. Okay, so every single application, every single job application needs to have a curated video resume that's specifically for that particular employment, right? So same goes like resume. And in fact, if you have any, if you have any intention at all to further your study to masters and to PhD, please make sure when you are emailing your prospect supervisor, do not use this generic scheme where you know you type, you draft, or you compose, sorry, yeah, you compose an email and then you blast to 100 supervisors. Don't do that. Yeah, because supervisors knows. The supervisors will know, this is just generic, generic statement, generic sentence, and they will be not insulted lah. Insulted is too strong. They will be unfavoring you, or like unhappy. Okay, so do. Okay. Next, pitching yourself. Huh. I would say pitching yourself is the core of your, the core of your video resume. And for those who are practicing yoga, you would know, like, pitching yourself is the main chakras. Okay. Um, about your sorry, not about, in your video resume. Okay. Now, what does it mean by pitching yourself? Pitching here is, this is not a dictionary definition, but the way I see pitching is all about, marketing yourself, selling yourself, making yourself to be available out there. So that is pitching yourself, right? You have to make people know you are available, and why, and what are the values that you have, or what is the what do you- what are you worth for? That sounds really strong, right? What are you worth for? So if let's say I am an employer, okay, and I watch your video resume, right? I just would like to know, okay, so how can you add value to my company? How can you add value to my company? So if you say, oh, I know how to market how I know how to market a product, yada yada yada, then what is the X factor? Oh yeah, That's the best. That's the best terms. Pitching yourself means like you have to let people know your X factor. X factor means you have that, and probably in 10 people, or like 10 in 1,000 people have that also. Yeah, your X factor, that is pitching yourself. So basically, whatever that you are seeing on the screen are just samples, are just examples, are just instances that people have written in their video, in their resume, or have said, or have mentioned, have told in their video resume. Okay. um, Again, what you need to know about pitching yourself is how can you make people attract to you. Okay, let me give you an example, right? This is an easier way of an example. So if, let's say, you join a dating app application, for example, like Tinder. So how would you make your profile interesting and attractive so that people will swipe right on your profile? Number one, obviously, means, of course, the pictures, means the photos, the images. We should display, or we should upload all the all the interesting photos, like we are traveling photos, or like photos at the gym. Yeah, or like photos with our car. Okay, so that kind of thing. Yeah, that is one thing, but you need to also know that you need to have some write up. So what are the things, or what are the points that you are going to insert, or that you're going to have in your write up as your profile. Okay. The thing is, sometimes I think, right, based on personal experience, I don't just swipe right on pretty photos. I swipe right on intelligence profile. Okay, so yeah, that's what it means by pitching yourself. Okay, what are your hobbies and interests? Okay, now when when you need to mention about your hobbies and interests professionally, you have to make sure that your hobbies and interests are, even though it's just playing games. Okay, but you need to manipulate the idea of playing games to a point where, yes, I play, for example, yeah, okay, for example, I play a lot of games because I love planning things. I love strategic planning. Okay, and then you give an example. Okay, for example, in this game, I have to strategize my weapon. I have to strategize, coordinate my team members, etc., etc. So you could see. Okay, do you realize that you are actually explaining, or you are actually talking about your hobbies and interests, but you contextualize it into a very useful, meaningful, and intelligent way. So that's how you do it. That's how you make yourself. That's how you pitch yourself. Okay, right? So if, let's say, well, okay, for example, from previous semesters, some students say, oh, my hobby is reading book, because to me reading book, uh, you know widen my horizon, gives me more knowledge, and I learn a lot of vocabulary. So that is useful, right? That is useful. So if, let's say, your hobby or your interest is sleeping, it's going to be difficult. Frankly, my hobby at this age right now is sleeping, because I don't get good sleep every day. So when I have the time during my weekend, if possible, I really, really wish just to sleep. Yes, I know, Miss, that is very simple to use. Sleep is simple, but to me, sometimes sleep can be a chore. Like a chore. It's not, like I said, it's not every day that I can get good sleep. Hence the reason why that circle. Miss, too much information. Okay, let's move on. Okay, what are your experiences? Miss, I don't have any experiences. Miss, I do not know what experiences mean. Miss, I am an introvert. Miss, this, miss, that, whatever. Okay, now when we talk about experience in your video resume or in your resume for that matter, we're not only referring to working experience, actually, whatever experience that you have gained, that you have obtained along the years of you studying in UTM or in your matriculation center or like student exchange or like whatever happened to you, that is experience. For example, like if if you even okay, even if you did not win anything from the competition that you join, that is considered experience. Why? Because when you join a competition, you learn many things. You learn many new things. For example, you learn how to communicate with your team members. You learn how to to think as a group. You probably you think you learn how to be a team player, or if you have better experience, you learn how to be a leader. So it's not necessarily, oh, miss, I was working as a cashier at a giant. No, not necessarily. Experiences here could be your working experience, could be your co-curriculum experience, or if you're not, if you didn't join any co-curriculum experience during in your study time, probably you join other NGOs outside. Experiences also includes your volunteer works. Okay, yeah, it's not necessarily something that has to do with working. Okay, experiences. So okay, so experiences here refer to your history that 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 you've been through, and you learn something from it. You learn a skill, you learn a life lesson. Yeah, so that is experience. Okay, now before I continue and before I proceed with the next slides. Okay, now remember your keyword. Okay, your keyword is to make sure people hire you. When people watch your video resume and say, oh, I like this guy, oh, I think this guy can be, can be a added value to our company. Okay, okay, right? So that is the keyword, yeah? Remember, that is the keyword. So now, your mission is to what? Your mission is to make sure that whatever points, whatever things that you are going to share in your video resume has to be something that show you are the best candidate. You are the perfect match. You are the last puzzle of that they need to choose. Okay? So whatever experience that you have, you need to make sure that the experience or the hobby or the interest gives you extra value that make you the best candidate to be hired. Okay? Achievement, your strengths, your weakness. Okay, so usually I think when we talk about strength, um, students or human being in general do not have any issues or do not have problems, not problems when talking about their strength. For example, like, well, I might not be handsome, but I'm rich. Kan? I do not know whether the non-Malays are familiar with this, but there's this one. What should we call that person? I do not know. It's not MLM. It's more of like what is the term for that? Okay lah. Let me think of the term and then I will tell you when I got it. But this is a very interesting, famous, popular, I would say, quotation from this particular person. So it's in Malay, all right? I'm going to say it in Malay first, and then I will try as much as possible to translate it and not changing the meaning. So in Malay, it says, tak handsome, tak apa, janji kaya. So in English, it would be something like this. It's fine if you're not handsome, but as long as you're rich. Okay, again, it's fine if you're not handsome as long as you are rich. Please raise your hand. How many of you will agree to that? Of course. Why not? I mean, because the thing is, it's very easy. If you're handsome but you don't have money, you can't buy fried rice or chicken rice. But if you're not handsome and you have a lot of money, you can buy a Maserati. Who doesn't want to drive a Maserati? Tell me. Or like a Bentley. Who doesn't want to drive a Bentley? Or like what is this, that Mercedes like Jeep thingy? Okay, anyway, my point is, okay, my point is, I'm sorry, before I go off tangent, my point is, you know, you should know and you should have at least one or two strengths that are really useful, that are that could help you to get an employment. Okay, your strength, and you know, whatever that you have, yeah, whatever if you need to have an idea, so please read up this the site. Okay. But yeah, achievement, probably, you know, when you have your achievement, then you know, that is also your strength. Okay, next. What is one thing which one you to improve about yourself? What, okay, or what are your weaknesses? Okay, so usually, yeah, usually people would tell their weakness. People would tell about their weakness. However, they twist it or they manipulate it to become their also strength. For example, I give you an example. My weakness is what my weakness is that I am a perfectionist. um because you know, I will take a longer time to finish or to complete a task. Okay. And if some of you ask me, Miss, how is that perfectionist is a weakness? Because when you are perfectionist, you need to make sure, or you train yourself to make sure everything is in place, everything is like perfect. So not everybody can work with professionals, you know. It's very tiring and it's very annoying. Even the simplest thing also, he or she could make it like, he or she would make a fuss of it. So yeah, right, it can be a weakness. Okay, but miss, okay, miss, but do we really need to have to say about our weakness? Well, not necessarily. Okay, because remember, your time is just 3 minutes. Okay, but as you drafting, yeah, as you drafting your content of your resume, I think it would just, we would just play safe, right? Put your weakness in the draft first. Okay. Okay, so yes. Why should we hire you? So this is basically, you know, the last kick. Yeah, the last kick in your video resume. You have said this, you have said that, you know, every single thing that you have mentioned in your video resume is all about, please hire me, please hire me, please hire me. However, right, the last kick, you need to have, like, okay, above all, you need to hire me because of, okay, for example, okay, for example, if you plan to work in the entertainment industry, yeah, it's easy now. It's super easy now, because what the way you answer why should we hire you is, why you should hire me because I have like 2 million followers worldwide. Ah, get it? So yeah, that is, again, before, before you get confused and all of a sudden whatever. If let's say, right? If let's say um, you are joining entertainment industry. If you're not, then of course you should have better points. Yeah, you should have better points. Okay, next. Yeah, this is why do you want to work with us? So you know when and in an interview, job interview, sometimes they ask you the previous question, why should we hire you? Or sometimes they also ask you, why do you want to work with us? Okay, so this is actually to ask you, okay, now okay, that just be frank with us. What do you know about our company? So this is the very reason why when you want to apply for a job or when you are going for an interview, before that you need to do your research. You need to do, you need to study about the company. You need to know about what is the recent innovation, maybe what is the recent news about the company, maybe what is the recent profit, maybe profit margin. So yes, okay. So do not go to any interview without having to do research on the company that you are going for the job interview, because you will make your reputation go down the drain, and you will stain your own image, and you don't want that, do you? Right? So yeah, don't do that. Okay. Next, career goals. So I think I do not know. I don't think they really ask you now, but I remember and I can vouch for you during my time applying for jobs. Yes, I would say in 10 job interviews that I've been to, at least 5 to 6 asked me, okay, so in 5 years' time, where do you see yourself? So because the thing is, even if you're working in a government, right? 5 years is basically the transition from one level to another level. So in 5 years' time, you should be climbing the ladder up, not down, obviously. Okay? So that is 5 years. So within that 5 years, you suppose, okay, let's say lah you join a company, right? Junior entry. So in 5 years' time, you need to be at least the mid level of junior. Okay, got it? Cool. So the conclusion is explaining why you want to work with the company lah. Top tips. This is something that probably we can. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's stop until here, and the rest of this we will continue in class. Okay. All right. So now, what do you need to do next? Okay. So this is your e-learning. All right. This is your e-learning. So you have two things that you need to do, right? Number one, you need to find a job. You need to find a job vacancy advertisement. It's either one advertisement that suits you, or like you can have two or three, right? So how many job advertisements that you have, you just post it, you just upload it and post it in the forum. Okay. I would say 1%, not more than 3 job advertisement. Okay. Miss, why do we need to have this job vacancy advertisement? Because okay, the video resume that you are going to produce or to create later on has to be based based what the word based on based on one of the job vacancy advertisement. The thing is, remember I told you earlier on, you cannot have a generic video resume. You need to create, you need to produce a video resume that really specific for a position, for a job. So that's why I am training you to come up with slightly useful video resume. Okay? So you need to find job vacancy advertisement or advertisements, okay, that really suits your qualification, okay, or that interests you. All right. Next, SWOT analysis. Okay, what is SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Okay, so if you do not have any idea what is SWOT analysis, so this is your task. Yeah, this is your task to find a video, to find um any write-up on SWOT analysis, read it up, and then what I want you to do is you need to do a SWOT analysis on yourself. Means, why do we need to have a SWOT analysis on ourselves? Well, remember that in your video resume, you need to have your strength and weakness. So this is me helping you to identify your own SWOT. Okay? Are we good? Right? So it means how many points do we need for each analysis? Well, you can have one for each. One for each. What do I mean by, okay, because strength is one column, weakness is one column, opportunities is one column, threat is one column. So it would be like a table of 4 windows, right? Strength here, opportunities, weakness, and threat, right? So 4 windows kind of thing. And then you can have like 1 point for each or 2 points for each. Okay? All right. So yeah, I think these are the 2 things that I would like you to prepare for me. And then when we meet in week 3, we are going to discuss it at length. Okay? So I think that's enough, right? I think that's enough. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for listening, for spending some time watching my video, right? And then I hope you would utilize and you would use your time wisely in completing the task that I asked you to do, right? So the 2 tasks, one is SWOT analysis of yourself, and another one is job vacancy advertisement. I think job vacancy advertisement will take some time, and SWOT analysis will also take some time. Okay, do not worry about the video resume yet, right? Do not worry about the video resume yet. Just worry about how you are going to get the good content for the video resume. Okay, right? We good? Okay. So, yeah, attendance will be provided on Thursday. Okay, Thursday onwards. Thursday by 8 a.m. or like whenever I am available, because I think everybody should know. Thursday is my team discussion day, so I am occupied the whole day actually. But I try to squeeze sometimes lah. Okay, attendance will be on Thursday, but make sure before you meet me in week 3, you have completed all the tasks of week 1 and week 2. Okay? Pinky promise? Right? So that's it for today. That's it for now. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.